Sakamoto Days, episode 5, Source of Strength. My boy Sakamoto done shed a few pounds, so we gonna talk about it. All right, so welcome back, Geek. So we're talking about Sakamoto Days, episode 5, Source of Strength, and this one is we're picking up on the fight between Boiled and Sakamoto, and then you've got Lou and Obagiro, and things are starting to pick up as far as Sakamoto is concerned because he done dropped a few pounds and now he's scrapping with a bit more ferocity when it comes to Boiled. So we're gonna start with Lou and Obagiro though. They've been doing some fighting back and forth. Obagiro wants a challenge, and Lou, having had quite a few drinks, is now doing her happy drunk, angry drunk kind of jump back and forth, fighting Obagiro. And she's actually excited because she's actually getting a challenge. So she's kind of ramp up the fight, and then turn around. Lou ramps it up by doing more, and they're just going back and forth. So Lou, of course, being the younger ones, call it Obagiro grandma and all stuff, kind of get under her skin. And they're laying some good shots in. Like they are having a good time while Shin is strapped down and kind of out of commission, so to speak. But they end up going at it. Eventually, Lou ends up completely sober up. Like she sobers up in like an instant. She sobers up immediately. It's just like, where am I? What's going on? But Obaguro is so happy that she had a good opponent to fight. She wasn't even stressing it. She wasn't worried about it. It's like that's it. That's the end of the fight. We're good. Which, eh, that one kind of threw me a little bit. But we go back to Boda Sakamoto, like they're going in, and we see everything from Fish class and like his explosive devices that he keeps on his fist, that Boyle keeps on his fist. Those end up getting shattered by Sakamoto's fist as they're going at it. And again, they are going hard. He is not Boyle ain't able to keep up. He ends up throwing his little bouncy explodey balls. Sakamoto ends up catching these things between his fingers and like throwing them right back. Like he is not wasting no time and no effort with about getting this thing done. So absolutely great. He ends up taking him into one of the carousels where he kind of ends defeated. He goes to they're both sitting there, and he goes to take a puff and just taps out. Like that's it. He's done. He can't hang. So that was a pretty good but short fight. I was expecting to go a little bit longer, but it's like once he shed the weight, he just kind of came in full force. Again, I got fat gum on my mind, so that I'm all defense, and then I went to attack mode and started kind of drop weight and then drop him. So worked out really good. Eventually, we see Hana, Aoi, Lu, and Shin all wake up on the bench because remember they kind of passed out in the haunted house, so they're coming too. And Boyle says that he won't come after Sakamoto no more. Aoi finds out about there being a price on Sakamoto's head because she sees him with all his weight loss gone, and Boyle is talking a bit too much when she kind of walks up. So now she knows what's going on. So she, of course, sits down with everybody, and well, the girls are kind of off the side, Hana, Lou, and Ogiro, but she's got the other three sitting down and she scolds them and talks about like rule number 6, no lies. You need to figure this out. And she took it better than I can expect her to because it seemed like she was gonna divorce him if anything kind of happened, but seems she's understanding that okay, a hit was put out on you, you can't really help that, but you need to go solve the problem so we can continue doing our thing. He's like, no problem, cool. So he's gonna handle it. So he decides to figure out what's the best way, the best course of action to go handle that. Basically, what ends up happening is after Boiled and Ogiro are both kind of like, we're good. They're into walking off. They're not going to fight no more. Everybody else is about to go to the parade and finish the day at the park. The next day, we are back, and Sakamoto is back as big as he was because he's been eating apparently all night, all day, whatever the case may be. He is back to his regular size or his normal regular size that we see him in, which makes sense. I didn't think it was gonna last that long because again, Fat Gum is still in my head, and it's gonna last that long because again, that's kind of what the show started off as, what the character is, and people who are kind of invested in. Oh, I want to see the bigger guy, doing all the cool assassin flips and moves and stuff like that. They want to keep that. So he'll only most likely shred that weight when he exerts extreme amount of, energy to be able to do whatever it is he needs to do. So they end up going to a video store, and this video store sells information in the form of movies. And basically, they already know about the Kai and the JAA and all that stuff. So basically, they go in there to sit down and watch some movies, which gives them some information on who's been trying to come after Sakamoto. So pretty much, they watch the movies, they get the information, they end up moving on to find the building and go see whatever they got to do. What they saw within the movie. You got Naguro, who was there. Naguro was there with the Order, and he's there with various other people. It's Osaragi, Hyo, and Shishiba. Now we see Hyo. He's got a very, what's the word I'm looking for? Very callous attitude and a metal jaw. Again, he's ready to scrap, and he was kind of talking trash to Nagumo a little bit, while Shishiba just kind of keeping everything in check. And Osaragi's like, "Hey, yo, you may not want to eat that food." And immediately Shishiba calls a chef over and then just pretty much takes him down into the plate of food and gives him a few quick jabs with a particular utensil. He's on one stuff. So it seems like some of these guys are, they're calm, cool, and collected until it comes time to do whatever they need to do. Then they go unhinged. But apparently, they're part of what's called the Order, and the Order is something that kept kind of everything in check within the assassins. Like, so anything that happened, anything that went wrong, somebody went rogue, whatever the case, but it seems that they were the ones that handled it, and they would keep everything on the up and up. Now, Sakamoto used to be part of the Order, but now the Order consists of, we know of at least 8 people. So Tsushiba, Nagumo, Osaragi, Hyo, and then they said there's 4 other guys. I think they said Taka something was another guy. Takamura was one of the other guys, but he's known to like never show up because he's like old or something like that. And apparently, there's like at least 3 others that have not shown up because they don't show up, which is quite common for them. So pretty much the order is there to do whatever they got to do, and they end up getting a visit from Inya, which is the communications coordinator at the JAA. So that lets you know even more stuff is going on, I guess, with whatever the order needs to do and kind of keep people in check. But we find out that um, when the crew infiltrates the Dodonkai headquarters, they get to the top floor. They find Nagumo there with a whole bunch of bodies, like bodies everywhere. And the reason they're there is because Nagumo was like, "Yeah, I took everybody out, and I'm gonna take you out too." And then goes at Shin and ends up being just a plastic knife because he's always joking back and forth. So they end up kind of cracking him over the head a few times. But he says that it was like that when he got here. Something's going on. The amount of the assassinations as well as the bounty that went up on Sakamoto all happened at the same time. So they're kind of one and the same. Something's going on, or whoever kind of filtered down, and that's kind of where everything's leading to. So they got to pretty much follow the trail, your bodies, to figure out where the assassination, kind of order came from, and they should be able to find their target and get the order rescinded. Now, I always not doing too bad because she's like, "Hey, yo, we're making a lot of money from bandages and stuff like that because hitmen keep rolling in, left and right. Hitmen keep rolling in trying to take out Sakamoto, and as they're taking them out, Hana's patching them up with a little band-aid here and there, and nobody's getting taken out. They just get incapacitated and removed. So it's all kind of working out as far as Sakamoto's concerned because he doesn't have to break any of his rules and he can still continue to move on. And the assassins seem generally like, once they're defeated, like, oh, I'm sad. And don't know if they're gonna, make. I think only the bigger name ones are gonna make more attempts, but all the lower guys are just kind of like, okay, we tried, and no. Now we do find out that the guy who has been doing all the assassinations, he leaves an X at the scene, and they've been calling him Slur. That's kind of like his little name that they gave him. Don't know exactly who Slur is, so we got to find out and see what the deal is, and see what the Japanese Association of Assassins has to do with all of this stuff with the communications guy kind of being there. So that's pretty much it. Nothing super crazy episode. Like the beginning, the first 5 minutes was the best part. Everything out here is now an information dump. We're kind of okay. We know this is going on. We know this is happening. These people are involved, and we're getting a few more characters exposed. So I'm good with it. Again, I'm hoping that it ramps back up. Again, I got to see how many episodes this is, but you got to kind of expect this with any anime. There's always going to be a bit of a lull with that before it ramps back up again. And again, depending on how the first season goes, will let us know if we're going to get a good season 2 or 3 kind of out of it as it continues on. But that's all I got for this one. If you joined us so far, please make sure you hit that lovely red subscribe button. We appreciate each and every one of y'all, checking us out with that, and stay tuned because we are going to check out Solo Leveling here shortly, and I can't wait for that one. We'll catch you guys in the next one.